Hey everyone, I'm Garen Flowers at Cinemark. So excited to talk with the cast of Till, a true story about Mamie Till Mobley, who was the mother of Emmett Till, fighting to pursue justice for his lynching in Mississippi. I'm joined by Danielle Deadwyler, who plays Mamie, and Jalyn Hall, who plays Emmett. Danielle, I'll start with you. The Emmett Till story is such an iconic one in America of the injustices that Blacks faced in America during that time. What new things did you learn about this story through living it through this film?
I am learning along the way what it meant to be the kind of mother and loving figure that she was. I learned the way in which she chose to discipline and raise her son, the way she wanted to uphold his joy, to uphold his natural inclinations, his natural personhood, the humor, the beauty of him. And then we dig into certain qualities of the event that actually happened that people don't deliver to you when they talk about this case. When we talk about the trial, what that actually was like. We've only seen so many images. We see this lone Black woman in amongst a couple of other Black people, and then this sea of white folks. And what was that experience like for her? That gets more rich for viewers when they encounter the film. And then what it means to arc from being someone who thinks that they were a nobody, even though they were prospering. And these are Mamie's terms. She said she didn't want to be a nobody anymore, even though she was a person who was of a particular kind of class and dynamic prosperity in Chicago of the 1950s. She learns that she wants to be a different kind of somebody. And so how she parlays herself into a certain kind of personal power and a power to activate herself and her community, and to refine her understanding of what motherhood is outside of the normative ideals of what that is. This film takes us through all of those waves with her, and among other things, to learn about. And those things were all very much new to me about who she was.
Jalen, a similar question, but I want to focus on Emmett Till. Was he, I don't really know much about him, even though I grew up hearing about his story. Was he that fun-loving, gregarious person that you portrayed on screen?
Yes. Like Danielle said, you only really learn the aspects of what happened, the event that occurred with him, what happened to him, and kind of what that did for history, but like she said, not in detail. But to be able to learn and literally embody the person that he was a learning experience in its own. I read, much like you, much like the rest of the world, have read and have seen pictures, but you can only feel and understand only so much from what you read or from what you see. So it's my personal duty to show that and portray it and in all its authentic glory.
The first thing I noticed when I became a mother was that my hands were busy all the time. My hand knew him with my eyes closed, just like I know his laughter in a crowded room. It's the same thing when you know all of someone. This was my boy, Emmett Till.
What did you learn about this story? Because the Emmett Till story is such a national, iconic story of injustices. What new things did you learn?
Well, this is a film about Mamie, and this is the Mamie Till Mobley story, and her journey and her emotional journey and point of view. And so there's a lot about her that we don't know. We think we know the details of what happened to Emmett, but there's so much more to this story, and there's so much more to Mamie as well. And so there's so much information I didn't know about her. I didn't know about Dr. T.R.M. Howard and the community of Mound Bayou and all these other extraordinary people who were a part of Mamie's story and her community. And so there was so much that I didn't know coming into this, and that I'm really excited about people learning as well.
As a Black man myself watching it, it was difficult to do. What was it like for you acting in it and having to learn all of these, relive these horrific things?
What it was like was just looking around and seeing all of these people all together trying to get this story told. Because, you know, if you don't know your history, we are absolutely going to repeat it. And so with all the talk of, you know, keeping information about, you know, gay people or black people or Asian people out of history books, you know, to me, it's unconscionable, because it's just another way of erasing people, which is what systematic racism is. It's erasing people, you know. So I want to make sure with this that people recognize that this isn't just Emmett's story. This is the story of all of us, you know, because we're all under threat with this kind of systemic racism rearing its ugly head again, and having people say, no, there's nothing wrong with this. No, we want you to see what's wrong with it, so you understand when we say you don't want this. People hear and act accordingly.
Like Whoopi just said, this is a movie that you want to check out because you might learn something that you didn't think you knew about the story of Emmett Till and his mother, Mamie Till Mobley, as she fought for his justice. You can check out the movie at Cinemark Theaters. Get your tickets at Cinemark.com.
The lynching of my son has shown me that what happens to any of us, anywhere in the world, had better be the business of us all.